Let's keep this thing moving.
Frankiln, one of the iconic characters from Peanuts, turns 50. He's not as famous as Charlie Brown, Lucy, or Snoopy, but he is the first black character in the Peanuts gang. And his origin story begins during a polarizing time. Peanuts was created during the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s. During that time, the Brown versus Board of Education decision desegregated schools. Activists sat in and protested for equal rights, and in 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. Days after King's death, Harriet Glickman, a frustrated retired schoolteacher, wrote to Schulz, asking him to incorporate a black character into his comics.
My little letter was nothing compared to the little girl who was stood in the doorway to integrated school with crowds of people spitting at her and throwing things at her.
In a letter, Glickman suggested the introduction of Negro children into the group of Schulz characters could happen with a minimum impact. Schulz wrote back saying he liked the idea, but didn't know how to go about it as a white cartoonist. He didn't want to appear patronizing. In 1999, Schulz described his struggles with creating the character.
I wasn't sure that I could do it, frankly. I don't know what it's like to grow up as a black kid. I only know what it's like to grow up as a barber's son in St. Paul.
According to Glickman, she asked a few of her African-American friends to write back to Schulz to give him a few suggestions.
But I got 2 letters from fathers who said, "We understand your problem, but try it anyway. Just go ahead and try it."
He did try it, and Frankiln was created July 31st, 1968. This is Franklin's first comic strip appearance, when he first meets Charlie Brown. After publications, Schulz said an editor from the South protested because he drew Frankiln sitting next to Peppermint Patty in class. Others wanted Schulz to get rid of the character completely, but Schulz said, "Either you print it just the way I draw it, or I quit." Peanuts comic strip ran until 2000 when Schulz died. In that time, Peanuts was published in more than 2,600 newspapers in 75 countries and translated to 21 languages. It has reached more than 300 million people around the world.
No God! This has gone on long enough. Jump the curtain! Yay!